in my head, I was just confident, and I had a belief level, like, insanely through the roof. So I remember a senior ditch day, I'm at the beach with my buddies, and actually, let's scratch that. I didn't remember this at first. I found out about this from a video that I had on my phone. And I had no Wi-Fi at this shitty-ass dorm, so I used to always go through all my old photos and videos and just to kill time. And so I'm going through these old videos, and I come across this one, and it's me and like 7 friends. We're at the beach, it's senior ditch day, and I'm like, everyone quiet, everyone quiet, everyone quiet. And one of my friends is like, we're making a bet. Me and my friends, we always bumped heads, we always want to make bets, we always try to call each other out, because we're all in sports, we're all athletes, and we want to be very competitive. And everybody thought they're always right. And so we're making a bet. And my buddy Peter says, Josh, there's no way that, and like, I'm telling him, in 6 months, I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna do that. And so the things I said I was gonna do is like, in 6 months from today, at this current point, I maybe had less than $1,000 to my name, probably maybe a few hundred. I was like, 6 months from today, I'm gonna have 50 G's in the bank. I'm gonna have, I'm gonna get rid of this Tundra, I'm gonna get a BMW. I'm gonna build this brand, Jetset, and people are gonna be inspired by it and want to, level up, and they're gonna be, drawn towards it. And, I'm just gonna be like on a whole nother level. And he's like, do you know how stupid you sound? Like just making fun of me. I was like, okay. I was like, I bet you, $100 that I'll do it. And I was like, and I'll say it on video right now, because I know I'm gonna do it. So I'll say it on video, and I'm gonna show you this video in like 6 months. And then he's like, no, you're not, blah, 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 blah. And all the other friends are laughing because they all roasted me. I was like, all right, you'll see. And so, I still carry the same mindset today, which is why, I never fucking sold an event with 700 people. The most maybe like 150. And that was with like months of promotion. This was like less than like a month and a half of selling tickets and like 700 people. So in my head, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I'm like, I don't think we could do this. But I'm like, I know I will. And so I'm scrolling through because I have no Wi-Fi, and I see this video. And then I look at it, and I'm like, holy shit, I did all of this. I got like 50 G's in the bank, I got the BMW, and I'm building like a brand on social media, and people are like drawn to it. And so I send it in a group chat to like the 6 or 7 people that were there. And everybody replies saying, wow, man, I guess you actually did it. Or congrats, man, I guess we were wrong. Except for the one person I made the bet with. And like I said, he's my boy. He came from a different country. He's a foreign exchange student. I was the first person he met in this country at the gym. And I brought him on to the basketball team and introduced him to everybody, and like way before he met anybody else. So we hung out like almost every day. Like he was my boy. And but like he supported me. He made signs for me when I was on the game. He didn't make the team, so he made signs for me whenever we would play or whenever I would play. He would scream at the refs if it was a foul, and I didn't actually foul them, and be like, get the hell out, refs. He didn't foul him. So like, he rode for me. But when it came to business, like I think he was looking out for my best interest, and he was just like, dude, it's not gonna work. Like you're crazy. But he just didn't have a belief level as high as mine. And so he was the only one who didn't reply. And like I said, since we bumped heads, in my head, I was like, yo, like he's mad, he's mad. Like, he was hating. I cut him off. I haven't talked to him in like 6 months. It ended up, I think it was like 8 months when I saw the video. I forgot about it. It was like 8 months. And then I was like, he's mad as shit. Like, I proved my haters wrong. Like, fuck yeah, I feel good, right? And, I think and a lot of people here, like, want to prove haters wrong. Because, people doubt you, and it's like, well, I'm gonna show them up. And so that's how I'm feeling now. That's how I'm feeling. And then, I keep doing my own thing. And I didn't care about anybody else. I didn't connect with anybody else from back home. I had 3 boys. I had 3 boys who were not a part of that group that I actually did stay in contact with, and that was it. And like the other 10 people on my team, the other 15 people I used to hang out with, they're just gone. And so about another 6 months passed. So it's probably like 12 or 14 months. By this point, I'm doing multiple 6-figure months. I'm traveling. I'm throwing, like masterminds with like 100 people, and I'm doing a lot. This is where some of you guys might have first started hearing about me. I have like 60, 70K on social media. I'm feeling some type of way about myself. Ego's through the roof. I think I'm this great stud, and I'm thinking that all these big entrepreneurs should talk to me and work with me and collaborate with me because I've done so much more for my age. And I'm all in my own head. And then I get a text around this time from my buddy. I'm not gonna say his name, but from my buddy, and he's like, bro, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry. I apologize. He's like, you're killing it. I'm proud of you. I should have never said that. And like everybody from the hometown is rooting for you. He's like, keep going, keep going. And when I first saw this, I'm like, yeah, I feel good right now. I proved the fucking haters wrong, and now they're coming back to me. And, and they're saying this type of shit. Like, yo, you probably want something, right? And then, so that happens. So I'm like, I'm not gonna reply to this. Like, I'm gonna show him that I leveled up. He can't even get in contact with me anymore. But then I think back and I'm like, yo, for him to say that with as high as like, that competitiveness and the ego and, how much we bumped heads, like he really, truly means it. Like it actually is like serious. Like he's not just saying that shit. It's 14 months later, if he's saying this, like he's feeling some type of way and he really actually means it. So after about 12 hours, I decided to reply and I'm like, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Like you don't even know that actually means the world to me. Like I appreciate you. Let's catch up soon or something. And that was it. And about another 12 hours later, I'm getting a call from my high school coach. And I'm like, why is my coach calling me? First I talked to my boy I haven't talked to in like 14 months. And then the next day, my coach is calling me. And he used to call me all the time. He's a super cool dude. He's like, how you doing? Let's keep doing what you're doing. But I got to the point where I just kind of stopped replying because it was like over the course of months. And then so he stopped texting me. So he's calling me and I'm like, oh my God, what does he want to talk about now? Doesn't he know I'm busy? And I answer the phone, and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? And he's like, it's your friend. He's like, you got in a car accident last night, he passed away. This is 24 hours after he texted me after not talking for 14 months. And I'm sitting here like there's no fucking way, dude. Like there's no way. I'm thinking yo, is he okay? He's in the hospital, are you sure? I'm hearing this news. It's the first call, right when I woke up, 2 minutes after waking up, this is the first call I get. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck. And I'm the type of person where I don't really get very emotional. I try to find the reasoning behind something right away and how I can twist it into some sort of positive impact. And so I'm sitting here and I'm just shocked, I was pretty fucked up in the head. And so I reactivate all my social media that I deactivated from high school. And then I post, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go back to my hometown. I'm gonna do a memorial for my friend. And I'm gonna tie a charity cause to it so that way it has an even bigger impact. It was around Thanksgiving or something like that. So then I do this, and we raise 3,000 pounds of food or something like that. And the post goes viral on Twitter. And again, these guys from my hometown, they don't like me at this point because I blocked all of them, and I thought I was too good for them. But yet the post still went viral on Twitter with me just posting one post, hey, memorial at this location, tomorrow I'll be there. Thousands of retweets, thousands of people show up to this memorial, raise thousands of pounds of food. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just I don't even know how to react. And my core group, those 3 boys that I told you guys I stayed in contact with, they're all with him. They're all hanging out at his house, and then he left to go home, and then it happened. So they just saw him 20 minutes before it happened. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck, dude, what the fuck? How is this happening? And I tried to, my immediate purpose was this is what I want to believe is the good to come from it. Me doing this charity good drive, and this helps this many families around Thanksgiving. I'm trying to give myself some sort of purpose, but not necessarily something I was passionate about or that actually made me feel that purpose. And I just kept trying to search and figure out what can come from this. What is the purpose behind this? I know this needs to affect me in some sort of way that will make be different. Will make some sort of actual impact. Whether it's my life, whether it's somebody else's life, because I believe that everybody is in your life for a certain purpose to either make you grow, or make you realize something, or to make you have some sort of breakthrough to accelerate you to that next level of life. And so I'm trying to search, man. I'm trying to think what the hell it is. On this journey of searching, and so actually I'll go back a little bit. So at this food drive, I'm standing with one of my homeboys in the very back. I don't want to be around all these people that I have bad vibes with. So I'm standing in the very back. And he's the only, this was my brother. His mom was my mom. His dad was my dad. I wanted to stay the night. I'm like, oh, well, he's going to be there. His name is Dylan. I'm like, Dylan's going to be there. And oh, okay, yeah, you can stay the night. And so I've known him for probably 6th grade. I probably stayed the night at his house more than I stayed at my own house. And so I'm standing back with him. And he's just he's the only guy who, once I leveled up, who's been in my new car, who's been in my new house. He actually even worked for me. I have screenshots on my phone. He used to do. I suck at grammar. He was really good at grammar, so he used to what's it called? Fix my captions before I posted it to make sure there's no grammatical errors. He was a smart dude, and so and also he was one of my only friends that I told about X-Commerce 2 years ago, and the whole vision for it and what I want to do with it. Literally in 2017, and so I'm standing back with him. We're leaning against something, there's this many people at the park by the memorial, everybody's, praying their respects. And he's just man, it's crazy how this can happen. Like you just never know when it can be you. Like this is why you gotta, enjoy people in your life. You gotta, make sure that you are a good person, and don't. And I told him, I was like, bro, he texted me yesterday, and he's like, man, everyone's like, it's almost like he knew, the world's just sending some sort of energy where it didn't want him to leave on bad terms with you. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And then about 4 months later, after that, I get a call from my buddy, Bobby. He's actually here. Bobby, where are you? Right here. Come here, bro. So I get a call from my buddy, Bobby. At this point in time, Bobby is in school. He's playing rugby. And he's one of the 3 people I stayed in contact with. Now he's made 7 figures in e-commerce. And, I had to really, really get on Bobby to get into business. He was like, nah, man, rugby's the way, bro, man. I got a full scholarship. So Bobby's dropped out. Bobby's made 7 figures in e-commerce. Real quick, give it up for Bobby, man. This is my boy right here. I know this guy since 2nd grade. I remember he impressed me. We were doing laps in PE, and he was like, yeah, man, my dad's like a famous actor, man. And he's like, I could get you on a show or on a TV. I'm like, oh, okay, bro, we're hanging out. And so yeah, I've known him forever. So I get a call from Bobby. I'm up in Big Bear. We have a place up there, and I go up there to work and get away for a few days. And I get a call, and he's like, bro, it's Dylan. He got in a motorcycle accident. And he's in the hospital. We don't know what's going on. And I'm like, what? Like, what? There's no, I didn't even know. Literally, I'm just sitting there, and he's like, bro, are you there? And I'm just I couldn't even fucking talk, dude. But again, I still couldn't cry. I'm trying to immediately try to process it. I'm in denial. And I'm like, well, dude, are you sure? And well, dude, he was on a motorcycle, and he was about to meet up with us. We just left his house. He was about to meet up with us. And then he didn't answer his phone. His location was in the same spot. And, we just called the police. They said there was a motorcycle accident. We don't know. They haven't verified it's him. We're just hoping his phone's dead. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And so, I'm like, fuck, I gotta fucking leave it from Big Bear. I'm gonna go back to my hometown and figure out, what's going on. And then I end up, getting on a call with him, and I find out, it's for real. My best fucking brother, passed away. And I'm sitting there, dude, and fuck, it's an emotional train wreck. 2 of the 5 guys I hung out with within 4 months. And I'm just I'm out here, not hanging out with them, not catering with them, not nurturing those relationships because I'm trying to do my own thing. And then and this shit happens. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm trying again to find a purpose from this, dude. And so I'm like, yo, gotta do the same thing. We do another memorial. And you know how shitty it feels to see the entire same group of people at the same park doing the same thing within a 4-month time period from that group of friends. And it's fuck, it's just going through each friend, what the fuck's going on, dude? And it's just fucked up, man. This guy, me and him used to be in a car crew. He used to drive around. You look at his pictures on my Instagram, go back, or pictures on his Instagram. It's his Corvette and my modded up, little racer car. And he goes down my Instagram 4, 5, 6 years, and he's the only person who's consistently in my pictures. He's the only person besides the 2 other buddies I have here today who I didn't unfollow or block on social media. And I'm just fuck, man. And like I said, he worked for me at the time too. And he never wanted to be an entrepreneur. He wanted to go to college, wanted to be an engineer, but he never talked shit either. He supported me. He's like, yo, man, I want you to win. I want you to do your thing. It's not for me, but do your thing. Even in high school and everybody else was talking shit, he was like, just do your thing, man. And so, that happens, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And I'm still trying to find a purpose for the first thing, or a reason, to just make it a positive impact on that first thing. And I'm just dude, how can I even make this a positive impact? There's just nothing, dude. And then I just gotta stop trying to think of a purpose. I'm just gonna stop trying to think about it. And eventually, it kind of came to me in a sense of what I wanted it to be, but I didn't know if it was necessarily real, but it made sense in my head. So I was I'm just gonna roll with it. And it was me going, man, so what I realized was and this started happening as my brand and my influence started growing, and the level ups kept coming, and then it got to the point where I kind of detached myself from money because I kind of lost it and regained it so many times in business. I was just I came immune to I'm yo, you're supposed to fuck up and lose money. You're supposed to feel broke. You're supposed to feel like this. That's just gonna happen. Stop being emotional about it. And so then I kind of normal. I didn't care anymore. And then I kind of realized yo, even though I proved my hater wrong and that was a motivating factor for me for so long, I'm I would take all that feeling that drives me to have my boy back. The trade-off wasn't even on the same scale. It's doesn't even make sense, right? And I realized yo, I wasn't doing this to prove anybody wrong. I was doing